everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
America, baby. Ain't nothing more American than Donald Trump. There's nothing more American than Donald Trump. Okay, not even his immigrant-born wife could make him any more American. Let's get into this.
Well, thank you. Wow. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be back. I love this place. I won this place. Is beautiful. This beautiful state I won. We won by a lot. Great to be back in Michigan, and hello to the men and women of General Motors. And before we begin, I have to say, so I had a wonderful father, right? And he was a hard worker. He was in the real estate business. And for him, super luxury. This is all he didn't want planes. They didn't have planes in those days, I don't think. He didn't want anything. You know what he wanted? A Cadillac every 2 years. This was to him the sign of luxury. This was the greatest thing. And he got every 2 years, like you could count on it. You could set your clocks by it. And by the way, speaking of that, let's get rid of daylight saving time stuff, okay?
Get rid of it.
We have a bill in. Hopefully the Senate's going to approve that one. The House approved it, and we're going to get rid of that. Just to mention, it's called the weave, right? We always get back to the right subject. But anyway, I did. I had a father, his luxury Mary, his super, that's all he wanted. He just wanted a brand new Cadillac, and I have to tell you a little secret. He had it stretched a little bit. This way he could be his own chauffeur. He wouldn't have to hire a chauffeur. He could drive it himself, or he could have somebody else, but he could also drive it himself. Did you ever hear that? This could be a new concept for a car. But I had a wonderful father, and he loved Cadillac, and I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful state, and I'm honored to be the first sitting president to visit one of the most storied.
Well, ain't nothing more American than a Cadillac. Like black Americans, we love our Cadillacs, okay? Black Americans love Cadillac. Donnie knows about black Americans, okay? He knows more than anything that anybody ever knows about black Americans loving Cadillacs. That's why he brought that up. And, ain't nothing more American than, Americans, we like guns, God, and Coors Light, and Cadillacs.
Places in the history of American auto making, and that's the world famous General Motors Proving Ground. Now, we just got back. We watched some cars, and they are beautiful cars, but I was also impressed with, that was the largest piece of asphalt I think I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of big asphalt, but I've never seen one that big. I said, you got to be kidding. But over 100 years, General Motors carved a 5.5-mile test track out of Michigan earth and built a crucible for American cars that would change the world. And that's what happened. You have changed the world, and maybe more importantly, you have made a comeback like very few companies. You are doing really well, and Mary and your whole group have done a fantastic job. They love their cars. One of the top executives I just met, he was showing, he said, sir, I just love the cars. I just love these cars. And I thought that was nice. This land bears the tire marks of every model of the legendary Chevy Corvette. It bears the scars of the first auto safety test, and that was probably pretty tough. And ever since the presidency of the late, great Ronald Reagan, who in all fairness, who I liked, but he did allow our cars to disappear into Japan and other locations. We cannot do it. We love him. But on trade, Trump is much better. Much better.
More tariffs for Americans.
But this facility is proudly designed, built, and tested the presidential limousine, affectionately known as the Beast. Have you heard of it, Mr. Mayor? I want to thank the CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra, as well as the president, Mark Royce, and the entire leadership team. Mark, really great job. The whole leadership team, the job that you've done over the last number of years especially has been incredible, and it's a display of speed and skill. Horsepower goes into these cars, and everyone's talking about General Motors, including me. That's why I'm here. And more importantly, thank you to the auto workers, the technicians, the mechanics, the welders, the engineers of General Motors, because there's no finer group of people. And it was workers like you who built this country, and now it's the men and women like you who are making it bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. We are doing unbelievably well as a country. We're building more auto factories and more plants than at any time in the history of our country. And someday the fake news is going to be writing stories about it.
Okay, let's fact check. How many auto factories have been made? How many auto factories are being built in the U.S.? It says, are U.S. car plants being built at record rates? This is 20. There is no single exact official count for completely brand new vehicle assembly plants breaking ground from scratch, as majority automotive investments heavily lean towards retooling, expanding, and shifting production inside 55 existing light vehicle assembly plants, along a wave of separate EV battery gigafactory projects. And you know he don't like. Donald Trump does not like EV. No more electric vehicles. Okay? Now, major assembly and expansion projects. Hyundai, Toyota. The top two are Hyundai and Toyota. Imagine that. Not General Motors, not Ford, not Ram. And we love our Ram trucks. Ain't nothing more American than God, guns, and Ram trucks, okay? Stellantis, General Motors, Ford, they're top two, Hyundai and Toyota. What they tell y'all? Foreigners. We don't like foreigners over here in MAGA country.
They don't like to write those stories. That's why they call them the fake news. But for decades, the auto workers and manufacturers of this great state were sold out and betrayed by globalist politicians and corrupt special interests who let other countries steal your jobs, pillage your factories, and loot the crown jewels of American industry from Detroit and all over our country. They were ripping us off, not only in the auto business, but in many other businesses. Every president before me promised to stop it, but none of them did anything. They did nothing. But now, at long last, Michigan finally has a president who stands up for Michigan auto workers and puts America first. You know, you had a leader, I don't know if he's still with you, Sean Fain or something. This guy was bad news. I never spoke to him, never saw him. He was a Democrat. He thought that Biden or Kamala would be wonderful. You would have, Mary, I hate to say it, you wouldn't have an auto industry right now if they got elected. You wouldn't have an auto industry. But I don't know what happened.
Barack Hussein Obama saved Detroit's auto industry, just to let y'all know.
To the guy, somebody said he got fired, but I can tell you, the people that count, those people love Trump. Because I've done more for you than your parents, okay? Thank you. He's a communist. We're running against communists. Now, this is great.
We gotta count how many times he says
communist. We're going to win very big.
Take a shot every time you say communist.
I didn't even hear the guy, I think. You see what they want to do? You see what they want to do? They want to take your houses. They want to do things that nobody's ever even thought of before. They want to take your money. They want to raise your tax up to 80%. I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, so we'll keep it that way.
No tax on welfare. No tax
And I
on
said
overtime.
this morning, I see this. They also want to fire the police. They don't want police and they don't want prisons anymore. I think that's a great idea. Does everybody like that idea? No police. They want no police and they want no prisons. Where are these people coming from? But I also put a 25% tariff on all foreign trucks. So I called Mary about a year ago and I said, I hear that foreign trucks are killing us. She said, that's true. I said, congratulations. I'm going to put a 25% tariff on the foreign trucks. And you are doing a phenomenal business now.
So that what that's saying is, if you like Toyota, if you like Hyundai, if I know some people that like Toyota Tundras. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they like Toyota. If that's your truck of choice, the price of your next truck is going up. For what? I have no idea, because they want American-made vehicles, okay? Ram, Ford, and General Motors. That's it. But the two top building factories, auto factories in America is Hyundai and Toyota.
With trucks. So they were killing us in trucks, and now we're killing them. My policy is simple. If you make your truck or your car in a foreign country, you have to pay for the privilege of sending it into our market and making a lot of money. But if you build in a factory in Michigan or someplace in our country and make your automobiles or trucks right here in America, you pay zero taxes, zero tariff. You pay zero tariff. There are no tariffs. And we've taken...
So Hyundai is in Georgia, Toyota's in Texas. They got an assembly line for Tacoma trucks. So zero, it won't go up because they building in Texas. So there you have it. So he just said we building American cars, but then he said, but if you build it here, then no tariffs. So what does Toyota do? Build the Tundra right there in Texas, San Antonio, Texas.
Taken in hundreds of billions of dollars for the country aside from it, but we keep a lot. As an example, Europe is being taken over by the Chinese cars. You know that, right? Mercedes-Benz is being absolutely decimated. BMW, good companies, decimated. Volkswagen, decimated. They don't do anything about it. We don't have, to the best of my knowledge, Mary, one Chinese car in the country. They have a 100% tariff, and our automakers are doing, I think, business like you've never done before, right? Right? You're doing more.
Okay, so if all these cars are being built in America, what does he talk about? Is there going to be what's that car called? The Raphael, something like that? Does anybody who drive those things? What kind of car is built? Like, does anybody want a Fiat? If you're going to pay a 25% tariff on the Fiat? For real? Like, who's buying this shit out the country? That's how so if he's saying this, and I'm telling you all the foreign companies that possibly could build outside the country, because Toyota is not an American car. If y'all don't, no matter if they built here or not, it's still not an American car. It can be built here. Look, the iPhone is built here. It's not an American phone. Like every piece comes from another country, and they just assemble it here. They just put it together. Like, that's it. They don't build the phone here, the laptops or anything. It says assembled in America. If you look at the pieces, look at the box, it says assembled in America. If you look at the fine print on your Toyota, it's going to say assembled in America. It's not an American car. So I don't know. Get it. There's no steel factories. This ain't 1940. There's no steel factories. Okay. It's all in China. Okay. All in Taiwan. You know, every part of your car is built in Taiwan. Okay. Your fabrics all made in China. They probably send them over here. You know, if we're going to go all American, you better have some New Balances. Don't be out there buying Nike. Don't be out there buying Nike and you American. Okay. If you're going to be American, be all American, okay? Don't be trying to buy these assembled in America products. It got to be made here, stayed here, and played here. I won't even go to America's favorite team stadium because they got Russian steel in there. I never go back to that stadium again. It's a disgrace to real Americans. And America's team will be at the Super Bowl. I just won't be there because they got Russian steel.
More business, better business, bigger business than you've ever done before. In 18 months, we've slashed our trade deficit with China by the largest amount in history. Nobody can believe it. You know, if you get it down a half a point, it's a lot. We got our trade deficit down by 71%. 71% worldwide.
That's
1 year ago, our
war.
country was dead, and now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country. Everybody is respecting us. You know, they respect us again. They respect the United States. I think they respect us more than they've ever. And we did this in a year and a half. In 4 long years of sleepy Joe Biden and his crazy administration, they're communists. They were communists. That was
Definitely. Take 2 shots. Take 2 shots. He said communist 2 more times. 2 shots, everybody.
was the beginning. He wasn't, because he had no idea what the hell was happening. They said, Joe, let's go communist. He said, what is that exactly?
Another shot.
They got less than $1 trillion. So think of it. In 4 years, they had investment of less than $1 trillion. 4 years, less than $1 trillion.
Let me guess. $19 trillion in investments.
In 1 year, my administration secured commitments of more than $19.2 trillion from all over the globe.
America, baby.
1 year, 19.2. If they got in, and they were essentially, they didn't think of themselves as communists, but they were. But now you have down and out communists.
2 more shots. 2 more shots. When the communist propaganda begins, y'all start taking shots.
I mean, these people are down and out. And remember, you go communist, nothing good happens. That's been proven for 1,000 years using different names. But right here in Michigan, General Motors is expanding operations at its Factory Zero. Do you know what Factory Zero is? What the hell does that mean, Mary? Factory Zero? You're going to have to explain. In Detroit to produce some of America's most iconic vehicles, including the Chevy, well, I hear it's good, Silverado, right? The Silverado, really hot, right? It's going to be hotter after today. The GMC Sierra.
Go invest in the Silverado right now. Go invest in it. Stock for the Silverado is going up today.
The world famous Hummer. I got to look at some of these. In fact, I said to Mary, how about sending me a couple? And one and only the Escalade. You know, we ordered, I think, 250 Escalades, right? We ordered 250 Escalades. That's so we look sharp in those cavalcades, you know? We look sharp in those Escalades. Our guys are very spoiled. They're very...
By the way, the Silverado is ranked second behind the Ford F-Series and has held that number one, which has held that number 1 spot for decades. Nothing's more American than God, guns, and F-150s.
Very spoiled. They like the Escalade, so do I. They were great to deal with. General Motors, they're making literally 250 of them, and it was about time. In 2026, GM increased truck and SUV production by 20%, and in the past 2 years, the company's invested $9 billion in bringing factories home to the USA. They're coming back home because, frankly, when they build here, there's no tariff. It's really not complicated. A lot of people don't understand that. They say, oh, what does it mean? They have no idea. They don't have a clue. But Mary understood it. Her whole group understood it, and they're coming back home where they belong. So I just want to congratulate General Motors. That's why I'm here today. I'm very proud of General Motors.
Oh, so you mean General Motors left? They left America? What the fuck? Praising them for what? And we bailed them out in 2000 and something?
For years, you watch companies move production from America down to Mexico. Mexico. I love the way there's a very nice president of Mexico. You know that. She's very nice, and she speaks beautifully, and she calls it Mexico. So I said to a group the other day, and we will stop all business going to Mexico, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. It didn't come out as well, Sean. It didn't come out as well. This is a great gentleman, heads up transportation. He's also world championship tree climber, 5-time champion tree climber. Can you imagine? I only hire these crazy people that do things like that. He was the lumberjack. He was the world champion going up a tree 100 feet, right? That's high. I saw an old picture of you doing it. I said, he's crazy. That's why I like him. But
we know.
He's a 5-time world champion. You know who that is. So, and his wife maybe is even superior, a big star of television, Rachel. She's doing all right. Sean Duffy, Rachel Campus Duffy. But you know, I liked him a lot. I always liked him. But when I heard he was a world champion of a tree, but any kind of world champion I'm okay with. When you're a world champion of anything.
Except LeBron James, he's a racist.
But that's pretty good. But down in Mexico, and they're coming back, and production's moving from Mexico, and companies are actually moving production from Mexico back to America. Before they left, they went the other way. Now they're all coming back. Toyota, Hyundai, and others are relocating production back to the U.S. Ford is investing $3 billion to build parts of its new pickup truck in central Michigan. All these things I told you, but only Brian. Where's Brian? My come here. Get up here, Brian, will you please? He's the only guy that believed me. Got a group of followers that are unbelievable. Where are they? Oh, yeah, there they are. He's got a great group of people. But for decades, we were told that it was totally impossible to bring back American manufacturing. Obama would say it. Remember, Barack Hussein Obama. He was so bad for the auto industry. I don't know, you know. Honestly.
Yeah, he was so bad. He was so bad that he gave them money so they could survive. He was so bad but let's talk about why the economy was so bad when Barack took office. I mean, I guess if we're going to blame everything that happened prior to Obama on Obama, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, it was a Republican that started that long-term war in Iraq. Now, here we are again in 2026 with another start of a long-term war looking for weapons of mass destruction. Okay? What happened? What happened after that guy left office? Yeah. We had to bail out the auto industry. It sounds like we're about to have to do it again.
I don't know how you vote for Democrats because they are so bad for the industry. But it turned out that all you really needed to get him back was a new president, somebody that understood business, understood what it was all about. I've been complaining about it for many years. On day one, I ended Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate that would have crushed the U.S. auto industry forever, would have never come back. Remember that? Everybody was supposed to have an electric car within, 15 minutes. And I don't want to say this in front of Mary because she'll change your mind, but it takes far fewer people to build an electric car. That doesn't mean they work better. But it takes, and if you want an electric car, they make electric cars too. But if you want to buy a combustion, if you want to buy anything you want, they make. We don't want to do that stuff. But right now, we've been right on that bet. I said, no, it's not going to happen that way. I terminated Biden's disasters.
All right, so let's talk about reality. Donald Trump did not bring back or fundamentally revive the U.S. auto industry during his first term. Economic data and independent fact checkers show that major job creation and massive plant returns did not happen at the scale he claimed, and overall auto manufacturing employment remained relatively flat or saw net losses before the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. auto and parts manufacturing jobs grew slowly after the 2008 recession recovery under the Obama administration, but plateaued and dipped during the Trump's first term rather than experiencing a massive resurgence. That should tell y'all that right now. He's lying to you. America, baby.
Cafe fuel standards. You know what that is? That was a short road to bankruptcy for every single car company in this country and a total disaster that would have killed the internal combustion engine. They wanted it dead within 5 years. As long as I'm president, that will never happen, but it's going in the opposite direction. Remember, we have a 1,000-year supply of gasoline. China doesn't. China doesn't. We have 1,000 years. We have more gasoline. We have more oil. Now, when you add Venezuela to it, we really have more oil.
How do we get Venezuela oil? That ain't our oil. That's their oil.
One day. And Venezuela's been great. They've been doing a great job. We're working with them. Take millions and millions of barrels of oil. But they're doing well and we're doing well. One day, you know, a lot of people were against that war. We don't want the Venezuela. What are you doing? What are you doing? After we won in about 48 minutes approximately. They said, oh, that was a good move. Well, the same thing's happening in Iran. People just don't see it. We have...
Who sees it? Does anybody see us winning the war in 48 minutes in Iran? It's been like 4 months, 5 months. Ooh, I don't know, dog. We in trouble, dog. The Strait still ain't open. The Strait was open before the war. The Strait is still not open.
Destroyed their Navy. We've destroyed their Air Force. We've destroyed their leadership. We've destroyed their anti-aircraft weaponry. Their drones are being made at a rate of about 7%. We destroyed most of their drone manufacturing capability, their missile manufacturing capability. And right now they're talking to us about making a deal. But if we didn't do it tough, there would be no talk. You know, for 47 years, which is really 50 because people have been using 47 years for 3 years at least. But for 47 to 50 years, they have been talking, and all they do is tap everyone along. They were the bully of the Middle East, and they were the bully of us. And Obama came along and gave them tens of billions of dollars. He gave them $1.7 billion in green cash. Remember that?
Again, that was their money. Trump did the exact same thing. Trump did the exact same thing Obama did. Funding terrorism. Then gave them a treaty or something where they could get 300 more billion. 300 billion. But it's not going to come from the American taxpayers. So they say it's not going to come from the American taxpayer. Who going to pay for it? Because none of these other countries are opting in to pay for this $300 billion deal that's so-called out there.
Put him on a Boeing 757, flew it to Tehran, $1.7 billion in green. He thought he could bribe them, and instead they thought, what a stupid country this is. How stupid. No, you can't bribe them. You got to beat them, and we're beating the hell out of them. But we'll see.
All right, everyday people, man. We're going to end that on that note. I don't know. I just can't take more of the lies, man. You know, I mean, I get it. You know, we want America to be great. Not again. We just want it to be great for all at some point in time. Because it's a little murky for everybody. But according to some white men, they decided that America is being overtaken by black people.